how pleased I am that you came along. Well, we got today and 3 more days to go, and that'll end 41 years, really, 41 and a half. And I feel so awkward. This is like the first time I was ever on television. You want to go, oh, hi there, and fall all over everything. Maybe it shouldn't be that way, but it is. It's like this is just as important as the first day you were on, and you don't know what the heck to say. You just don't. And I know it's the children, but most of the mail has come from children and adults 35 to 50, and I dearly appreciate that. So I thought that it might be nice to just tell stories today and the last 2 days about things that have happened. And you know what? Some of the things people do to stay on television, I'm going to talk about a couple of things that I've done that if I had to do them over again, no way would I do it. Scary, that kind of thing, just to me. You're sitting there smiling, oh, hello, everything's all right, and it's like death is right around the corner. So we'll talk about that. I'll tell you about that after the cartoon.
We'll be back after these messages. And now, back to the show.
Well, you were going to say about some of the things that were kind of scary. Well, I guess there were a number of things that were scary. One that I think of, by the way, Ranger Rupert, take your hat off here in the last few days so we can see you. I'd like to be here, yes. So you got a ranger in there by the name of Fred Lutz? Yeah, he also flies an airplane. Yes, I thought so. I think we all know him. You. I don't know him well. Invisible birds down. When I said some dangerous kind of things, I used to do a lot of commercials, an awful lot. It was Barnaby or whatever. And one time I did one for a bank. And they wanted me to go and throw money away, fake money. And the whole idea was, don't throw your money away, put it in the bank. Where were we going to throw it away? They decided that it would be great to have me walking across Public Square in Cleveland, Ohio, go to the top of the terminal tower, which is about 40-some stories, put me on a little, like a harness, and we went up beyond the area where you can go up on the elevator and look out for the public, and we went on above that about another 5 or 6 stories, and then I went outside. The cameraman, Dick Pischke, was, remember, a delightful guy. He filmed so many things that I did. He was frightened, but I was outside, and I've got a harness on, and the producer's got a thing on me, and I'm up against the side. This is the terminal tower I'm talking about. And mostly ad agencies say, take it again, let's try it again, make it a little quicker. You want to go, I said, I'm going out there, I'm going to say it once, that's it. Now don't be scared, smile, hi, don't throw your money away. And, you want to cry right then and there. But an interesting thing happened. At the top of the terminal tower, you want to throw your money away, where do you think it would go? Down, certainly. We didn't know it, but there was a draft coming up. We had pieces of paper painted green, looked like money. I went, don't throw your money away. And it went whoosh, right straight up. We kept throwing. We threw away. I wanted to throw the box, but we didn't. We threw all the money. It went up. It was kind of dangerous up there. And one time we were doing a show in Plymouth, Massachusetts, a movie about the first Thanksgiving, and we went to see in the Mayflower the Second. Now, well, I might have shown it to you here on Channel 43. We did it about 20 years ago. As you know, England gave the United States a replica of of the Mayflower, and we went to sea in that thing. And I mean, if you've ever been on it, oh man, it's the tallest ship you ever saw and the shortest one, and there, it just, no way would, I'm not a good sailor anyway. Well, the first day, we shoot the part where I'm to go out in a small boat called a shallop and run up to the shore. Well, they had to bring the cameras in way about a half mile on the shore, a little peninsula that ran out, sand. I'm not telling you this very well, but so they wouldn't see the tracks of the people that walked up on the sand to put the camera up. That was down here, and then they came up like this. And I was to go ashore, and the producer told me that, and I don't swim, there was only about a foot of water there. Jump off. He hollered, jump off, Barnaby. I jumped off and went into 20 feet of water, going, and they had divers going after me. That wasn't so bad. Then we went to sea in that ship, and it leaned over like this, and I'm up on top of the mast, hanging on like this. It was blowing the wind. They hollered, you're doing real well. Come on down. Well, I was only about this far from the water as far as I was concerned. That was it. But then we got to the point where we had the last Thanksgiving. We had about 124 actors in it, playing the Pilgrims and the Indians and all. And the people of Plymouth were very nice to us. But the big thing was that the first Thanksgiving was eaten outside, sitting on logs. And they had great big wooden bowls filled with the fowl and some seafood, steamed like lobster and things of that sort. But they also ate raw sea bass. Now, we had a historian there that was telling us about it. Well, when you're filming or you're making a movie or something, you have a budget and a time limit. You have to come in under budget. You have to hopefully get it through in time. Well, we were late, we were over budget, and we were running out of film. So they put the camera on a track, which moves along like this, and the fellows playing the Indians would eat the stuff and they'd pass it on down. Last, I'm sitting at the end, and then I eat out of this big bowl. Comes down, gets to me. Now, there isn't any sound here because we did what was known as a voiceover. I spoke and told the story after we got back, after the film was put together. So I could hear the director, pass the bowl, pass the bowl. Got it here. His name was Don Rumbaugh. I never will forget it. There in the bowl was a raw sea bass. I mean, it wasn't even cleaned. And he said, eat it, you fellow there, or something to that effect. Eat it. And smile. We're out of money, we're out of time. This is the end, eat it. So I ate half of that raw sea bass going, oh. And I could finish that story, but that I ate you ate raw fish? Yes, I ate raw fish for that. Friday I'm going to tell you some of the funny things that happened. But there were some other marvelous things that occurred, when you're doing live TV. Once, we did so many commercials live on the air. I was doing one for one-a-day multiple vitamins, really, and I was behind what they call a roll-top table, and we had a piece of velour on it, like velvet, and all these jars and glasses of literally, they would put out thousands of bottles and glasses and things like that with the water, how much water you drink. We had a lot of chemistry-looking sets to, show what these fine vitamins contain. And somehow, part of the set, or part of that velour, got caught on my button. And I went to walk away and pulled the whole, just bam. I had more vitamins on the floor, all over my feet and everything, and it just so happened that the ad agency man was in the control room, and I could hear him right through the wall going, what happened? They were just nice times, but all of these things did occur. One time, when I was in a show, a marvelous show, a man had a big alligator, was showing me how to open it up, and he'd open up the mouth, and he wanted me to take a microphone and stick it down in the alligator's mouth, so he could show this. You could hear the sounds of this alligator. And I said, I don't want to put my hand down it, and I mean that baby had to throw it like this, you know. And the guy, marvelous man from Florida, said, I've done it thousands of times. And he held up his hands, and he only had about 2 fingers left. And I thought, that's enough for me. I'm not going to do it, but I'm going to do this commercial.
We'll be back after these messages. And now, back to the show. We'll be back after these messages. And now, back to the show.
Well, we're just talking about things that happened in the last few decades here. And we'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to do a thing called the lobby number or the little fiddle, one of the two. I'll think about it. Something that you like by Danny Kaye. If anybody calls, tell him Barnaby said hello, and tell him I think that you are the nicest person in the whole world. Just you. Just you. Bye-bye. Barnaby is the name. Thank you for coming along. Well, we're kind of counting down. We've got today being Wednesday, and tomorrow and Friday will be a goodbye. And first of all, I can't thank you enough for all the marvelous mail. Just absolutely marvelous. And also, I want to make it very clear that it was my decision and not this fine station. Right? There's many people out there. Some special ones. I wonder who's kissing her now. I wonder who's teaching how. I wonder who's looking into her eyes. Brilliant eyes and telling lies, and I wonder who's taken the time with lips that I used to call mine, and I wonder if she ever tells him how me. I wonder who's kissing her now.
We'll be back after these messages. And now, back to the show.
We have done a number of lip syncs over the years, many of them maybe 100 times over and over again, and sometimes in the mail that I've received in the last few weeks, you mentioned about this one that Danny Kaye did in Up in Arms called The Lobby Number. It really made him. I think it was written by his wife then. Her name was Sylvia Fine. And it's just marvelous. You might hear a few little cracks in it, but because it's an old record, which we've used so many times. It's called The Lobby Number, and it goes like this.
Manic Depressive Pictures present Hello, Fresno, Goodbye. Produced by our Manic and directed by Depressive.
Now you know the name of the picture and you'd like to see it. But no.
Screenplay by Gluck, from a stage play by Motz, from a story by Blip, from a chapter by Ronk, from a sentence by Dokes, from a comma by Stokes, from an idea by Groks, based on a Joe Miller's jokes.
Now you know the name of the picture and who wrote it. And you'd still like to see it. But no. Art direction, Finkelpuff and Theory is Minerva Puff photography, Alonzo Tech recorded, sound as Needlebeck upholstery by Zachary, Knickknackery by Thackeray, Terpsichore by Dickory, and Dickory by Doc.
Now finally at last, comes the picture. And what do we see? The same old beautiful Corvus girls. The opening scene is a ranch in Fresno, California. So what are they singing? When it's cherry blossom time in Orange, New Jersey, we'll make a peach of a pear. I know we can't elope, so honey, do be mine. And if up from the gulch rides a hunk of man, he is our hero, Cowboy Dan, a galloping yodeling buckaroo. His horse, of course, is a baritone, too. I've got the wagon wheels inside of me. I've got that old cactus in the hide of me. I've got that. The girls are delighted to hear this. But where is our heroine? As the bell rings for lunch, we find our heroine in the corral, eating her heart out. She is Mary Swan, tap-dancing daughter of an American juggling act who left her on the doorstep of an old English castle where she was found by Sir Basil Metabolism, who said, "By Jove, a girl, baby, I shall raise her as my own daughter," which he did. But she wants to tap dance, and Cowboy Dan, who she met on this trip and who was love at first sight, wants to marry her so she can tap dance, but she knows Sir Basil will never permit this. Never, never, never. That's why she's eating her heart out. But through her tears, she is singing a happy little song because she is also a coloratura soprano. She is beside herself. Her favorite position.
Oh, Father, you must let me marry Cowboy Dan. He owns the biggest ranch in Texas, bar none.
Bar none? Why, that's the password of the FBI. It can't be. No, no, yes, yes, no, no, yes, yes, no, no, yes, yes, no, no, yes, yes, it can't be. But it was. He rushes to Mary Swan. Mary Swan, you must help me out. Can you tap out a message in code? This is her big chance. Now she can tap dance, which she does. But what has she done? She has betrayed her own father. But he isn't her father. He is Heinrich mein Schlucken, mein rotes Flömen, heidende Glube, de Ölsge Schmerzen, de hassende, oldige Hölmene, Helmene, Flomene, geplaungede Ölsen, Hölmene, es knallt mit de Ölden, grone Ölsen, Halsen, Gehöl, Elmenine, the dangerous German spy. Stick up your hands, you dirty rat, and cow disflight and eiten blat. So, the FBI finally captured the German spy. Dan and Mary are about to blend. You think the picture's about to end? But no.
ever heard of a music or picture without Carmelita Pepita, the Bolivian bombshell? I wish you would come with me to my little village in Bolivia. So peaceful there are the purple mountains with the lovely mist and the shining stars. And the little people who live so simple and quiet. And every night, all they want to do is grab a partner, swing away, his cherry blossom, lime, and orange and jay. Grab him by the teeth and swing him by the hair, and you will make a piece of the pharaoh grab. So here we are back in Fresno, California. And this is where you came in. But do not fret, my friend. This is a picture that ends in the middle for the benefit of the people who came in the middle. This is the end.
We'll be back after these messages. And now, back to the show. We'll be back after these messages. And now, back to the show.
Those records, like we just finished a little while ago, I'm a little out of breath, with Danny Kaye. Many times when we were live, the mechanics of the situation would go kaflooey, meaning would go bad. And a number of times we'd be singing along and something would happen to the turntable where the record was. Now, of course, we use tapes and things of that sort. But then the record, and many a times I'd be going along, let's say, with Bing Crosby singing, Blue skies, smiling, it would go, and so we would just kind of go right, I would go right on down the floor and wah, 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 and we'd come back up, and then there were other times when the thing would go, blue skies, it would go 90 miles an hour, and you'd have to move your lips so fast, and you miss them these days quite a bit. Well, coming back tomorrow, and we're going to talk about my favorite book that I hope all the children will keep along. And I realize this hasn't been just children this week because the mail was from adults. But I care for you all, and if anybody calls, tell them Barnaby said hello, and tell them I think that you are the nicest person in the whole world. Just you. Just you. Bye-bye.
From all of us at Channel 43, thank you.
Barnaby's the name. How nice. I enjoyed having you come along. Tomorrow's our last day on the air, and you get down to this point, and I really mean it, to say to yourself, what the heck will I talk about? Have I told everything there is? Is there something I should say? And you'll walk. I know people have said when you get through, you walk away going, oh, I should have told them about that. Oh, I should have said this. I should have thanked those people. There's so many people to thank. I can't thank everybody. But I was thinking of the good times and some of the fun things. I think these 2 days would be nice to talk about them. One time, I was doing a spot with an apple. 4 children on Barnaby, right here, in this very set. And I was showing them why not to use a knife. And I had my scout knife. I still have it with me. I think I got it with me now. Yeah, there it is. We'll get to the cartoon in a minute. I was saying, don't just look, when you're peeling an apple, you can cut yourself. And we're just about ready to go to a commercial, and I walk. And Larry Tressler's here, and I think he remembers, he was probably here. I cut the end of my finger off. Went, boo! Blood went ding up here. And I'm going, well, and everybody knew it. And at that time, Steve Allen had a show about mistakes, the impossible things. And I had talked with the person out there and said, Barnaby, do you have any mistakes, things you want to show? I said, sure. So I sent him that one when I cut my finger off. They used it, and I think you got $1,800 or $800 for that, for cutting your finger off. But anyway, they took me to the hospital, and they had to sew the thing back on, the end of the finger back on. The interesting part is that Steve Allen has such a tremendous memory that about 2 months after that, we were at the Football Hall of Fame parade, and he was the parade marshal, and sitting there at breakfast, he came over and said to me, aren't you the fellow who cut the end of his finger off? And we used the piece on the show for big mistakes, bloopers. And I said, yes, I am. And he said, cut some more. He said, cut them right down to the knuckle. I said, what am I going to do then? He said, learn to throw a knuckleball. He said, baseball players get paid more than you do. And I said, that's true, and I guess that's right. I'll tell you about another one, just wonderful, with a youngster out at Rainbow Babies and Children's Hospital, a little boy who did something that was very, very, very cute, and we sent that in, and I wish they'd have had that. We'll come back.
We'll be back after these messages. And now, back to the show.
Well, today and tomorrow, that's it, eh, kid? Yes, it is. What do Ranger Rupert, Cicero, Long John? Well, Long John is going with me. Yeah, well, I guess we'll have to kind of go to the dogs. Get it? I get it. I'd like to be on another show. Well, some other time, I suppose. We were talking, beforehand, and I'll tell you the best book that you can have in a little while. The #1 book that I hope that you'll have around the rest of your life. But I was talking about mistakes in a very... Some were so serious that, like I cut myself. There were difficulties, some that you wish never happened. But I don't know why. You remember sometimes the beautiful and funny things that happened. And this isn't humorous. The place was not humorous. It's a lovely place, the Rainbow Babies and Children's Hospital. Met so many youngsters there. One young lady that I still is a dear friend of mine. I could say that she's kind of the head of the Barnaby fan club. I don't have one, but if I had one, that's what I'd like. Her name is Barbara Mathis. But one day we were there. We were doing a public service spot. That means you're doing something for the public to help out, to ask for donations. And this was a spot for Rainbow Babies and Children's Hospital in connection with, I believe it was the circus. In other words, you buy some tickets, and the proceeds from X amount of dollars will go to the, for X amount of dollars will go to the Rainbow Babies and Children's Hospital. And they put me in a room with a lot of beautiful youngsters, some in casts, some that were still in beds, and all bandaged. They're all out and they're happy now, I am sure. And I've forgotten what they were in there for, I presume. But the camera was just like this, right in front of me, and the children were around me. And we'd had some fun, and it got time to be serious and make this little pitch. So I was going along, and it's coming along just fine. A full minute spot, as they say. They call it a spot, or a 10-second, or 5-second, whatever it is. It's a spot. I get to the end, and I said, remember, I'm at Rainbow Babies and Children's Hospital. I get to the end, I say, and it's all for Rainbow Babies and Children's Hospital. Take it again. We go through. I'm going along real well. And don't forget, the money goes to Babies and Rainbows Hospital. Nothing. And the kids are laughing. They're getting a big boot out of this. I'm kicking it, right? Now, third time I start. And it picks up. See, here's the microphone. It picks up on the microphone. I'm going along, and about 30 seconds into this spot, I hear a little voice behind me go, Rainbow Babies in Children's Hospital. And you can hear that on the tape. Rainbow Babies in Children's, 3 times. Rainbow Babies in Children's Hospital. Right behind me, a little voice. And bless his heart, when I got to that point, he went right along with me. Rainbow Babies in Children's Hospital. And I smiled, and he leaned out and went, I think that's about as if you can use the sweetest thing as I've ever seen. If we don't have it, I sent that to Steve Allen, too, and they couldn't use it because of we had to get clearance from everybody. And but that little boy going like, hey, the dummy made it. I thought that was just marvelous. You had a lot of those things, didn't you? Yes. So many things with the circus. I thank the people at the Coliseum. We had fun out there. I don't know whether I might have mentioned this, but one time I did a skating thing for when the show was throughout the country. It was in Dallas, and they wanted me to skate out and introduce a number that somebody was going to do. So I was not a good skater, and I'm still not, but they kind of pushed me out, and I went out, and the place was dark, and they had a microphone and a little set out there, a little flat like this, you know, something right behind you. And pretty soon I'm going and I say, hey, I'm doing real well. I'll get going a little faster. Oh, boy, I'm going real well. Boom, all the lights come on, and there was the microphone that far. I'm going my full speed, which was about 5 miles an hour for me, on skates, and I hit that microphone, boom, like that. Took that out, took the set out, boom, and the people just died laughing. Well, the lights come down like this. They're called spiders. You know, they come down like so, spotlights. And, oh, I got up, and it was like, whoo. And everybody's dying laughing. And I tried to step out of the spotlight, and they kept following me, and they followed me right along over to the edge, and I climbed up and went up the steps on the skates, and they all applauded. And the manager came to me and said, can you come back and do that again? We'll give you money. You know, knock your brains out every day. We'll give you money. Did it really happen? Yes, it did. It did. Those things are so delightful. And the people that were on, on the program, particularly a gentleman by the name of Clay Conroy, who played Woodrow, the woodsman. And we had Saturday shows. I'm going to talk about those tomorrow. We had shows on Saturday and Sunday. He and I, we were together. And some of the things that happened were just marvelous. Funny, enjoyable. Can't forget them. Oh, that book, the best book to have, if you have it the rest of your life, the dictionary. The dictionary. All the words in the English language. Huh. I only know maybe 1,500 of the thousands upon thousands that are in there. But it's delightful. Get so you use it. It'll give you more knowledge than you ever expect to have. See, I'm getting fouled up on what I'm saying. I get emotional about these things. But it's so important to you. And if you keep looking at the dictionary, when you hear a word, look it up. It's fun. Then write it down. Memorize it. Use it. You'll have a lot of happy tomorrows. We'll be back.
We'll be back after these messages. And now, back to the show. We'll be back after these messages. And now, back to the show.
I was talking about the dictionary, telling you what it can mean to you and what it means to me. And did you ever get so excited about something when you're talking about it that you just can't say it? That's what happened to me when I was talking about the dictionary. Or when I talk about many things. I get excited about it, and then you get all, they say, tongue-tied, funny with the voice, the words. Come back tomorrow. If anybody calls, tell them Barnaby said hello, and tell them I think that you are the nicest person in the whole world, just you. Just you. Bye-bye. Barnaby's the name. I'm pleased that you came along. Pull up a chair and sit down for a few minutes here. This is the last day for me here in television and Barnaby and in television in general. I don't think I don't want to, I don't care to be, start another show or anything. And I've thought so long on what I'm going to do on this program that I just said to myself, finally, just sit down and say what comes to your mind. For things change so very much, as you certainly know. But the children that I've played to have grown up and had their children, and they've grown up and had their children. And I probably thought about this day 30, 35 years ago, or 40, 41 years ago, I don't know. I never thought it would go this long, thought that I would be on this long. And you ask yourself, you have to say to yourself, what does it mean? Why have I been on and other people who've come along and go away? Maybe it's because I wasn't smart enough to go anywhere else. But I do hope that something will be left to someone in television after I leave that will come along, and something I might have done or have changed in the manner in which television is done will make it easier for them. If I've done that, then that's all right. I like that. I like the thought of it. If there are some children or adults, really, who read one book because I suggested it, then that's important. If by my example as a human being outside of this television set, did I set a good example? I don't think so, for a while. But again, through the help of so many wonderful people and the help of the dear Lord, why, I got over the problems. And maybe it was meant to be that way, to show that if you try to, you can get over it, whatever the problem might be. Boy, it's getting kind of down in the dumps, isn't it? No, I'm very, very happy about it. You've asked where I'm going. I'm going to live in Florida, near where one of my children live. My son, I have a daughter that lives here in Cleveland. I have a daughter that lives in New York. Oh, yes. The youngsters are going, gee, I didn't know Barnaby had any children. Yes, and two lovely grandchildren, two lovely little girls, and they are here in Cleveland. And somehow I'm looking forward to the new part of my life. 70 years old, I don't tire of new beginnings, and that's something I hope that you will take with you. If you take that, so I'm talking to my children, take that and go and say, if something comes down, if you have to leave, if you get sick, if you have a problem, turn it around and have a new beginning, and don't be tired of it, because it's fascinating. I can't sit here and say, oh, this hurts. It does hurt, but I can't dwell on it because I know that something down the road is going to be beautiful. I'm going to write some things, and by golly, they're going to be good. And they'll be things that children can read and enjoy. We'll have a cartoon.
We'll be back after these messages. And now, back to the show.
Just thinking of all the Barnaby shows that we've done, and some of the crew has reminded me things that have happened. I'm sure that there's no tape. I don't think there was tape at that time. One thing that happened, I won't forget. We had a lot of money to spend, not that we haven't here, for props and things. Props meaning this, whatever. When I was with NBC and when I'm here at Channel 43. And one day, I decided that we should have some ping pong table things. And we got into it, we got talking about it in the morning. We work all day to do the show in the afternoon. We got to talking about it, and finally I said, let's have a lot of ping pong balls. We sent somebody out, and we had literally 8 bushels of ping pong balls. So we decided that we would put the ping pong table out here. You just saw the net at the bottom of your screen. And the art department made me 2 big paddles. And on the phone, I called up the world champions, or the champion of each country. You know, we called Japan. You sent over your champion ping pong. And or the Oriental people, delightful, beautiful people. The people in Spain, Italy, and in France, do ping pong, and send them over. So by the time of the end of the show, we had worked it so that I said, gentlemen, we had 2 minutes of this, or 3 minutes rather. We don't have time to play you one at a time, so I'll play you all countries. It's your serve. We had stagehands and people up on ladders on the floor with buckets of ping pong balls, and they all served like that. And I'm wailing away, and literally the screen was filled. You could hardly see me. It was filled with ping pong balls, just all over the place. And that to me was one of the most memorable ones. Why, I don't know. It's just because it was so much fun. Except the crew afterwards said, oh, you thought of it? Hey, 8 bushels of ping pong balls. There's a lot of slipping and sliding going on. And luckily some of the insurance was paid up. But I did help them pick up. And I still think when they tear down that building, someday in the future, they're going to find some ping pong balls somewhere. As I think somebody told me down there they found one in the corner still around. We'll come back.
We'll be back after these messages. And now, back to the show. We'll be back after these messages. And now, back to the show.
There could be 1 million people to say thank you to. Seems strange. Seems like yesterday that a group of us, WWS, Dorothy Full-Time, Alice Weston, Bob Dale, Paul Hodges, Gene Carroll, and myself, kind of started this television business in the state. Thanks to them. I left them all. The stations, the people, the directors, crews. Can't do it without them. But the person you can't be without is you. When I say you, I really don't know who you are. Because I've always thought that there was one person out there that I'd care for more than anybody else in the world. And she's probably still there. That person would be you. There have been some nice children coming along. Boys, too, of course. Like my own son. And, good time. Whatever. Boy, I didn't think it was going to be like this. Your letters mean an awful lot. All I can say is that gets this old bird that we started out with, just by accident, Popeye. He can't even talk now. But I'll take him along. And I hope you'll be all right. And if anybody calls, tell them Barnaby said hello. And tell them I think that you are the nicest person in the whole world. Just you.